Hi everyone, welcome to this yoga video. I'm going to be talking you through the Hatha Sun Salutation. I've classed this in energy level number 2. If you're not familiar with my concept of energy levels yet, then click on this video below and that's where I'll explain it. I've classed this in energy level 2 because we'll be doing it slowly and then building it up to a bit faster. But of course you don't have to do this. So it's up to you whether you want to speed it up a little bit or just keep it at a slower pace. Either way is perfectly fine. So let's get started. So to start, you can come to the front of your mat. And first just make sure that you're standing strong and correctly in mountain pose. So what we want is our feet to be about hip width apart, firmly rooted into the floor, strong legs. And then our pelvis wants to be neutral, so not too far back, but also not too far forward. So relax it. I find it helpful to hold my hips, to actually feel what's happening. Find that central point. And my navel is going to pull towards my spine, activating my core a little bit, making sure that I don't slouch in my lower back. And I'm going to be standing up straight. My shoulders are down, so make sure that you're not pulling them backwards too much or forward. A trick that I do is to pull them up towards my shoulders and then gently drop them down. And then you can put your hands down next to your sides, palms facing forward. Don't forget about your neck. Your neck is nice and long as if someone's pulling you up from the crown of your head. And your eyes, your gaze is forward. From here, I'm going to take one inhale. And on the exhale, you can put your hands together in prayer pose. So they come together on the front of your chest. And just take 3 breaths here. And remember that your movement follows the breath. Your breath doesn't follow the movement. So just see how fast your breath is. And on the next inhale, you can reach your arms all the way up. And just breathe 3 times again. So you don't have to do a back bend yet, we're only just getting started. And after 3 breaths, bend your knees and fall forward. Trying to get your belly on your thighs. So don't think about the nose going in the direction of your knees or your shins, but think belly to thighs. And we're not warm yet, so let's just keep it very gentle at this point. And again, 3 breaths. And try to keep a nice straight back. So your sitting bones and tailbones are going up towards the ceiling. So you're tilting your pelvis a little bit, so it's not stuck underneath. And after your 3 breaths, we're going to step the right foot back towards a low lunge. So on the inhale, you step it back, put down your foot. And again, breathe 3 times. Now, I personally don't like to have my full hands on the floor here, so I just keep my fingertips here. And breathe. And the chest is pulling towards the front of the room, so don't slouch it down, but try to keep it up and forward. So you can probably feel this in your hips. And after 3 breaths, you can put your hands down on the mat, curl your toe under, and exhale into your first downward facing dog. Now this position is one that you can always work on because there's so much to think about. So your hands are pushing into the floor, your shoulders are externally rotating, your back is nice and long. Don't forget that your neck is part of your back, so it's in line with your back. So your ears are kind of in between your ears. Your fingers are spreading wide. Hands are about shoulder width. Your tailbone and your sitting bones are pulling up towards the sky. If you find that a bit difficult, then just bend your knees, and it gives a bit more space so it gets easier to straighten out your back and tilt your sitting bones and tailbone towards the ceiling. Otherwise, you can keep your legs straightened. Make sure they're fully switched on. So pull that kneecap up and your heels are pulling down. So it's a lot to think of. So by the time I've talked you through this, you've probably been breathing quite a while already. So we're going into the next pose. So for this pose, you can hold your breath. You're going to move forward a bit, almost as if you're going towards a plank. Put your knees down, put your chest down, put your chin down. And it's just a moving through pose, that's why we're not breathing. And then we're inhaling to a cobra. So for this pose, again, we're not very warm yet, so you can keep your elbows bent. Just make sure you're sticking them to the sides, don't splay them out. Your chest is pulling towards the front of the room. Your feet are pushing into the floor. Your glutes are active, they're engaged. And you've probably done 3 breaths by this time again, because I've taught you through it. So you can curl your toes under, and on the exhale, roll back to your downward facing dog. And don't make your dog too small. You don't want it to be all the way here just so you can have your heels on the floor. So you can see with me, it will compensate your back. So take a nice wide dog. Don't worry about the heels. It doesn't matter if they're on the floor or not. Just focus on the back. Just keep it nice and straight. And after these 3 breaths, you're going to step your right foot into the middle of your hands. I don't think that was a grammatically correct sentence, but you know. And again, pull the chest forward. And you can probably feel a stretch in your hips. I like my fingertips on the floor, but maybe you like your full hands. Just make sure that you're not compensating and not feeling anything in the hip. And just again, 3 breaths. And on the following exhale after the 3 breaths, you're going to step both feet together back to your forward fold. So again, I like to keep my knees bent, especially if I'm not very warm yet. So try to keep your belly on your thighs. And to be honest, I vary my hands, so sometimes I hold the backs of my legs, sometimes my hands are in front. See what you want to do today. And try to keep the weight a bit to the front of your feet, don't fall backwards too much. So really in the toes, make your toes work. We often forget about them. So by now you've probably done 3 breaths. So you're going to roll up, all the way up, including your arms. Make sure you're not compensating any areas here. I just want a nice straight line. Again, 3 breaths. And then the next exhale, get your hands back in prayer. And again, 3 breaths. So this is always a good time to check your posture. By this point, I have my feet together. Personally, I don't mind if you want your feet to be hip width. But just in both positions, be aware of your pelvis, where it is. Make yourself nice and tall, as if someone's pulling your crown. And then we're going to go straight into the other side. So again, every position we're going to do 3 breaths. So I might be talking you through the position, just keep breathing. And I'll try to keep it timed at 3 breaths. So here we go, we're going to inhale, arms up, 3 breaths. Try not to compensate in any area. I don't really back bend until I'm really warm at this point, so for me, I'm just going to stay straight up. Keeping the pelvis neutral. And here we go. On the exhale, bend the knees and gently fall forward. Keep the back straight, also as you're going down. That helps to keep it straight once you're all the way to the floor. And again, I'm always very gentle with my hamstrings, so don't really want to stretch out my legs yet. But you can still work your fold, so you can try and keep your belly on your thighs and push those feet into the floor. And after the 3 breaths, we're going to this time step our left foot backwards into the low lunge. And again, pulling the chest forward. I can definitely feel a stretch in my hips. And I like to have my knees stacked over my ankle. There's quite a bit of debate about this, but I personally think that, of course, your knee can move over. We do it all the time, like when we're walking stairs. But if you want to stay in a position for a longer time, so at the moment it's not very long, but say we would stay here for a minute, then I can personally feel it in my knee if it's over or to the side and it doesn't feel very nice. So I try to always keep it stacked just to keep the muscle memory there. And on the next exhale, you're going to step back to your downward facing dog. So again, don't make it too small. And think of all those little cues like pulling your navel towards your spine, keep your ears in between your arms, and roll your tailbone and your sitting bones towards the ceiling. Bend your knees if that helps. And don't make your dog too small. And after 3 breaths, hold your breath, roll forward a bit, knees down, chest down, chin down, and inhale, Surya Cobra. So I can already feel my back is a little bit warmer because it feels more comfortable. I can stretch out my arms a little bit more. So try to notice these little differences, and don't forget to use your glutes in a back bend. Pull your chest forward. And after 3 breaths, rolling back to a downward facing dog. So curl your toes under. There we go. And again, bend your knees if you feel that makes it a bit easier to stretch your back out. I don't really care about the legs so much in this position. The back is the most important thing. And keep pushing off those hands, wide fingers. Also the feet. I often forget about these elements. And after 3 breaths, we're going to step our left foot forward this time. So make sure you create enough space to step forward in between your hands. So really round the back, so you have enough space for your foot to land, and pull your chest forward. So again, I can definitely feel it in my hips. It's one of my tighter areas. So especially when I'm not warmed up, you can feel it stretching. And here as well, also try to focus on your toes, on your feet. Just be aware of them. Press them into the floor. And after 3 breaths, we're going to exhale and step into our forward fold. And as you're getting warmer and warmer, you can try and straighten out your legs a bit more. Or maybe you would just like to keep the knees bent. Keep working that belly towards the thighs. And after your 3rd breath, you're going to inhale your way up. Three breaths. And exhale into prayer pose. Three breaths. Okay, good job. It's not easy. You work a lot of different parts of your body, a lot of muscle groups, so it's very effective for a full body workout. So we're going to do it 2 more times. Once both sides with 2 breaths and once both sides with 1 breath. So we can speed it up if you want. If not, keep doing it at your own speed, taking as many breaths as you like. So here we go. We're going to inhale. And on the exhale, put your hands together in prayer pose. Taking 2 breaths. Keep thinking about all those same things. Pelvis in neutral. And then we inhale, arms reach up. And if you want, you can add a little back bend just by pulling the chest up towards the ceiling. Doesn't need to be very deep. 2 breaths. And on the exhale, fold forward. And keep thinking about the back. It's more important to have that straight than to have your head on your legs. And on the next inhale, step your right foot back. Chest pulls forward. So your 2 breaths, step it back on the exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths, use your breath. Hold your breath, move it forward, knees, chest, chin. Inhaling to cobra. 2 breaths. Use your glutes. Very important for back bends. Curl your toes under. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Ears are in between your arms. Don't forget about that. Your neck is part of your spine. Needs to be one nice long line. And stepping the right foot forward in between your hands. Low lunge. Pull the chest forward. 2 deep breaths. On the exhale, step both feet together. Forward fold. You can still bend your knees. And on the inhale, roll up. Feel all those vertebrae roll up. Woo. Arms up, and if you want, pull the chest up towards the ceiling. And hands together in prayer pose. 2 breaths and going straight on. Use your breath. Your breath is there to help you. And we inhale, arms go up. If you want, you can integrate the back bend. Use your glutes. And exhaling all the way down, forward fold. Keeping the back nice and straight. Two breaths. And this time stepping your left foot back, low lunge. Two breaths. And we exhale, downward facing dog. Keep thinking of those sitting bones and tailbones towards the ceiling. You can bend your knees for that. Rotating the arms and moving it forward, knees, chest, chin. Inhaling, cobra. And here as well, you can still keep your elbows bent, just keep them in your sides. Use your glutes and exhale, downward facing dog. Keep breathing. And stepping the left foot forward, low lunge. 2 deep breaths. This time stepping forward into a forward fold. And rolling up on the inhale. Back bend if you want. And exhaling, prayer pose. Very good. I'm definitely starting to feel the heat a little bit. Hope you are too. I'm going to do it one more time together, just using one breath for each position. It's very quick, so I'm going to try and talk you through it as fast as I can. And then, of course, you can keep doing this at home if you want. So here we go. Get ready. Inhale. Exhale, prayer pose. Inhale, arms up. Option for back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right foot back, low lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold the breath, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward. Pull the chest forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale. All the way up, option for back bend. Exhale, prayer pose. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg steps back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold the breath, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg steps forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach all the way up, option for back bend. And exhale, prayer pose.